Tackle from behind, loses the ball, it's rolling around. Can Cozad fall on? They finally force a turnover.
He's at the 50, he breaks it back, comes back across the grain. He's gonna go. Hail Caesar.
Pummels of football. Coming up with it is Gothenburg, and that's going to be a return for a touchdown. Makes the catch at the 35, breaks a tackle, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Loomis.
Welcome back to the Press Box Preview as it is week 6 of high school football. We are fully into district play, starting to figure out which team is which. And Scott, every game now just feels more and more important as we get further into the season.
We have ratcheted up the stress on all of these games, and we are already looking at probably some must-win scenarios in there. But last week, Loomis, that game you had, that was something. They really came out and dominated with the 1975 team there to watch. They did a great job. Lincoln East beats Kearney. That's a big win in a top 10 Class A matchup. Arcadia Loop City survives the scared Pleasanton. That was a great game, 50-45. And then Elm Creek continues to win as they just impressive 59-14 win over Franklin. So we got 3 games this week. That's going to answer some questions again.
Yeah, 3 games, and it's usually we either see 3 on Friday or 1 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. This week we have 2 on Friday and 1 on Saturday. Let's start with the Friday game. Alliance at Lexington, that's a 6 o'clock kickoff on Cami Country, so a little bit earlier. Lexington has lost now 4 straight after winning their opening game of the season. They now sit at 1-4. And again, we've seen some good things in the first half. It's kind of been a tale of 2 halves. They've come out great in the first half, and then in the second half, teams have started to run away.
Yeah, Lexington is petitioning the NSAA to get rid of halftime because they really have. You look at, they were down by 7 to Northwest and ended up losing 48-14. They were down 42-24 to Plattsmouth and lost 62-24, 63-24. And then last week down by 14 to Scotts Bluff, and then Scotts Bluff boat raced them 56-7. So it's kind of hard to figure out. Tyler Thorell, though, is playing good ball as we expected. He looks comfortable. It feels like this team is close. And so it'll be interesting here with this one.
How about Alliance, though? 3-2 on the year. They have wins over Gordon, Rushville, Holdridge, and most recently coming off a win over Chase County to kind of rebound after 2 straight losses. This is a team, though, that has a great rushing attack.
Well, they really do, but the big question comes into the old strength of schedule situation. Who have they played? How does that match up with who Lexington has played? Lexington's had Alliance's number. I think that, this could be a really good game. But, yeah, you're right. Alliance is doing really good on the ground. Trini Trejo has done well for the Bulldogs, averaging 161 rushing yards. They average 256 yards on the ground.
Also, can't forget about the senior Espen Lonick. He has caught 5 touchdowns. He's a big weapon kind of all over the field, can kind of do it all for the Bulldogs. Now, Lexington has won 6 straight in this series, including a 34-18 win a season ago, with Alliance's last win coming in 2016. All right, big one coming up on the blowtorch of the Plains, as it is every year when talking with head coach Craig Hagee. Always throw the records out the window in this one. Cozad and Gothenburg. Let's start with the Haymakers. Things looked a little bit bleak after the first 2 weeks of the season, playing 2 C1 powerhouses, but they have now won their 3rd straight game. Really just showed off some mental toughness and responded really well. They've obviously been doing some things much better offensively, but how about the defense? They've really improved as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of Jared Crick's baby, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have really, they're ball hawks. They go after it. They get turnovers. Last week, 5 turnovers, Broken Bow. They got from Broken Bow. And that offense is, Julian Davis is throwing some dimes right now. He's dropping some dimes. He's looking good. They were tested by fire those first 2 games, and they've come out with steel.
Really impressed, too, with the Snyders. Brayden Snyder had 2 touchdown catches this last week. And then when talking with Coach Crick about Bryson Snyder, they said they're asking him to kind of do a lot this season, and he's really done a nice job. Now, on the other side, the Gothenburg Swedes lost their first game of the year this past week in a top 10 matchup against Sydney. That was a 21-6 final game. That was also kind of a weird game with a bunch of turnovers. So Gothenburg now 4-1, and again, the defense did play lights out.
Yeah, they really are good. Their defense is good. They run to the ball. They chase well. They'll blitz you well. they gave up the ball at their 10-yard line, which led to a Sydney touchdown. They felt they were a lot closer, lots of penalties, a really ugly, tough game there. But talking to a lot of them, they felt like, we were pretty close on that one. So we'll see if their daubers are down as they get ready for this game. It's not just a game. It's Cozad Gothenburg.
When talking with Coach Hickey, he said he had almost never been more proud of his offensive line and defensive line in that game, and they really played very well. They are a little bit beat up, so we'll see how they come up in this one. This is a long-time rivalry, as we mentioned, between the two. Cozad has now won 5 straight in the series. The Haymakers won 27-7 a season ago, but the overall series is right around 500 since 2004, so should be a good one on Friday. All right, Saturday game. Bertrand is at Overton at 6 p.m. That'll be on Cami Country on Saturday. We've got some Saturday evening high school football. Now, Bertrand has lost 2 straight in district play after starting the year 3-0. Kind of an unlucky schedule, playing both Cambridge and Hitchcock County back-to-back weeks. And this feels like a kind of important game for them to get back on the right track.
Well, it's an important district game with Overton at 1-1, in the district, and Bertrand 0-2. The Vikings, though, continue to look impressive with skill guys like Thunder Nelson and Hunter Nelson, both having big years. Big things, locking down some things as they go on defense. They'll need to get a little better there, but they got some offense there.
And you talk about must-win games for both teams. It feels as much of a must-win as it would be at this point of the year. Overton also 3-2. They've done a really solid job bouncing back both times they've lost this year, both to Anselmo Myrna and then Hitchcock County. They bounced back with a win immediately, beating Maywood Hayes Center in a big way, 49-6 this past week.
Yeah, they did, and they continue to be pretty balanced. 147 yards passing, 201 yards rushing per game. Gage Clifton and through the air, Dawson and Brock McCarter, Quentin Anderson. They got lots of skill players. They got lots of people they can go to. This might be a shootout here on a Saturday night for you.
Yeah, and they're getting healthy, too. They're getting some guys back, and so be interested to see this one. The series is deadlocked since 2008. Overton holds a 6-5 overall advantage and has won 2 straight in the series, winning 49-12 a season ago. All right, taking a look at some of our other area matchups. We do have some Thursday football on our sister station, K-Bear. South Loop is at Pleasanton on KUVR on Friday. Holdridge at Broken Bow, and then on K-Bear, big one as well, Central Valley at Twin Loop. Scott, what kind of do you have your eye on this week?
Well, I like that Central Valley Twin Loop game. Central Valley's 5-0, Twin Loop is 4-1, so figure out a lot about them. And also Anselmo Myrna and Burwell. Those are 2 teams. Those are good old rivalry game there, and both those teams have played really good at times this year, so we'll see what comes out there.
All right, I've got a few games circled here, a couple top 10 matchups. First off, Dundee County Stratton at St. Patrick's. DCS is undefeated, number 3, and St. Patrick's always just a kind of a powerhouse. Yeah. They are receiving votes in the top 10, 4-1 this year. And then a big district matchup between Loomis and Hitchcock County. Loomis coming off that big win. Both teams 2-0 in district play, and Hitchcock County has pretty much rolled through everyone so far, so that'll be a good matchup. And then a top 10 in 6-man football. This will be an afternoon game on Friday. 9th-ranked Juanita Palisade is at 3-1 and 4th-ranked SEM. So that'll be a great matchup. We have a lot of good matchups this week across the state.
You got 3. How come you got 3? You just gave me 2. I don't understand.
I don't know.
Okay?
I just took it away.
You run the show. It's all good.
Well, that'll do it for this week's 6th edition of the Press Box Preview. Again, on our stations, it's Alliance at Lexington. That'll be at 6 p.m. on Cami Country. Tyler Cavalli and Jacob Roth will be on the call. Cozad is at Gothenburg at 7 p.m. on 880 KRVN. Scott Foster and myself will bring you all the action. And then it's Bertrand at Overton at 6 on Saturday. That'll be on Cami Country. Jacob Roth and myself will bring you all the action. Enjoy this week's games, and we'll talk to you next week.